Hey, it's Dustin Miller here, managing broker of 8X Real Estate in Victoria. Today I'm going to be going into the residential real estate market and see how it's performing about 1 month into the COVID-19 crisis that has shut down many businesses and really altered our lifestyle here on Vancouver Island. But the numbers are showing not too much doom and gloom, so it's pretty positive out there still, both for home buyers and home sellers. So over the past 7 days, 85 residential real estate sales went pending on the Victoria Multiple Listing Service. So pending means new deals were entered into where the buyers removed subjects and are now in unconditional binding offers of purchase and sale for that property. The deals will have varying completion dates into the future. Of those deals, 49 of them were single family homes and 19 were condos. So we are seeing more of the single family home market generating some sales. They tend to be the mid-market homes, $500,000 to $1 million. But what I noticed is overwhelmingly the sales prices are sustained to what would normally be occurring pre-COVID-19. There really doesn't appear to be any collapse or noticeable decrease in prices or anything to suggest that prices would come down in the future. Sales volume is certainly down over 70%. As of April 20th, there were only 155 sales in the system compared to nearly 700 the same time last year. However, this is being counterbalanced by drastically reduced new listings coming to market. So sellers are refraining from putting their homes on the market, keeping inventory very, very low. Over the past 7 days, the sold to list price ratio came in at 97%. So that means buyers are on average coming in within 3% of the asking price. That's hardly anything to worry about. And it's certainly not an indication that prices are on a downward trajectory or that your home equity is going to vanish very quickly. This is quite within the normal range of a marketplace. In fact, 21 of those 85 deals came in at or above the asking price, with the average of those deals being 101.2% above the asking price. So we're still seeing buyers that are acutely aware of the COVID-19 pandemic and environment willingly entering into new contracts of purchase and sale to buy residential real estate here in Victoria. Clearly, these people are thinking far past this temporary pause on the economy. They're very smart, in fact, in that they're willing to secure well-positioned, well-priced, and desirable properties with much less competition than what typically would be occurring in a full swing April market. So for example, 3067 Albina in the Gorge area went for $27,000 above the asking price. 21 Tuzo Court, a newly completed and vacant home in the Thetis Glen subdivision of View Royal, fetched $775,000 when the developer was only asking for $749,000. On the other end, of course, there are deals that are selling quite below the asking price. The cheapest ones I saw were about 80% of sale price to list price. So 20% below asking. But these listings tended to be either grossly overpriced in the first place, were tended to be out-of-town sellers, or had serious material latent defects like exposed foundations, mold, and other concerns that would drastically impact the use and enjoyment of that property. So it's clear there isn't panic in our local market and there's no pressure on pricing as of yet. The majority of job losses that we're hearing about are in the retail, hospitality, food, and tourism sectors. Generally, these people do not tend to be large participants or stakeholders in Victoria's residential real estate market due to its historically high nature. Generally, the workers on these types of salaries could not support a $700,000 to $1 million real estate holding. Of course, there are people who are impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic and do own real estate, but they have many options available to them, like three-month mortgage deferments and many government programs and subsidies to provide assistance, meaning that they do not have an immediate need or desire to sell their home. They will get through this, and there's really no pressure as of yet to sell their property. COVID-19 recession is very peculiar in that typically a recession would show an increase in new listings. We are seeing quite the opposite. Substantial 70% decreases in new listings as people practice social distancing and really have no desire or appetite to have people coming through their home, hosting open houses, going through the typical process that's required to find a buyer. So in past recessions, BC home sales typically posted an initial steep decline before bouncing back along with the wider economy. In the year following the start of a recession, home sales have recorded significant recoveries, rising 24% in 2009 after the 2007-2008 mortgage crisis in the United States. That had not a significant impact on Canada, but an impact nonetheless, and a technical recession. In 1991, we saw a 46% increase in home sales following the recession in the early 1990s, largely a result of pent-up demand and the low interest rate environments that prevailed during those times. There is, of course, the outlier, early 1980s, where we had a huge recession. Unemployment was maybe 13-15% in British Columbia, and subsequently, after the recession, we saw unimaginable interest rates of 22%. So in that situation, home sales and prices did not recover, and understandably so, and many people struggled quite a bit during that time. But that's not the case we're seeing during COVID-19. I expect home sales and prices to recover significantly going into 2021, and maybe even see conditions that were so extraordinary like in 2016. So that's all for this week. I'm going to be posting another video at the end of April going over the monthly stats. Stay tuned for that. In the meantime, check out my website, victoriamarket.ca, for the most comprehensive list, map, and database of sold commercial and residential properties in Victoria. It's a great resource for both buyers and sellers. I'd love to help you on your next real estate transaction. Feel free to get in touch with me, victoriamarket.ca. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.